When you're addicted, the only thing you worry about is your next one. Ways and means to get more and burning anybody you can. Sports were my life. We were a very athletic family. My dad played soccer in college. That's what I did, from Little League, 5 and 6 years old. And I started playing soccer. Basketball started when I was 10 or 11, and those two sports, took up a lot of my time and kept me occupied. And junior year of high school, my basketball team at McQuaid, we won the state championships. And we were the best team in the state, and it was absolutely amazing. My senior year, I had some opportunities to go to Syracuse and play soccer, and a couple of Division III schools as well. And when basketball started, the offers continued to roll in, which was everything that I had wanted to go to school and further my education, but still being able to play the two sports that I loved. January 8th, I believe, 1998, we were in Syracuse playing Liverpool High School, and I was running down the court, chasing down somebody, and bumped my right hip on his right hip, and blew out my entire right knee, and ACL, the meniscus, the whole 9 yards. And from that point, that was when everything kind of the bottom fell out, so to speak. I didn't have any coping skills on what to do when sports weren't around. The scholarships were dropped, and it just kind of all spiraled out of control. At that point, I started smoking marijuana and started drinking. That fall, I went to Mercyhurst College in Erie, Pennsylvania with a couple kids that I went to high school with, and started experimenting with acid and mushrooms, and I used and partied, and when that started, I didn't go to school. I came home and moved on to Park Avenue and was working at a pizza shop delivering pizzas, making a lot of money, some legally, some not. I was 18, 19 years old and kind of a king in my own mind, and that fed into everything. Halfway through my 19th birthday, I tried cocaine for the first time, and that was something that I loved. It allowed me to talk, it allowed me to be social, get outside myself, and stay up all night and hang out with people. And that turned into a little bit of a problem. I had made some friends that were in good standing with some very bad people. When I met my wife, it was probably 2005 and 2006. When I was 27, I was managing an auto parts warehouse and store, and was making a significant amount of money, and got introduced to painkillers by a friend of mine. That was probably 3 years of regular Oxycontin use to a point of excess. I mean, like every day, almost all day. I remember the first time that I was working at my job, and my back started to hurt. I started to get the sweats, and I'm like, what's going on with me? Am I getting sick? And never put two and two together that I was going through withdrawal, and it scared me. I'm like, I never want to feel like this again. So instead of getting help, I continued to use. I had graduated to using heroin, and once that came into the picture, it was much more convenient, it was inexpensive. I stopped using the pills and stuff, and went off the deep end, and my life spiraled drastically out of control. I was stealing money from my wife and my joint account. I was stealing money from my parents. I was selling jewelry that obviously wasn't mine, and got to a point where my parents didn't want me in the house, my wife didn't allow me in the house, my friends didn't want me around. It hurts to think about that. That's where I got to.
When Matt first came here, he had a lot of confidence that it was going to be easy. He could quit using. He was working a job, and very confident, really overconfident. As things progressed, he lost his job. His wife had asked him to leave the house, and I did receive phone calls from his mother. Things were a lot worse than Matt portrayed.
When I came in here the last time, I had stolen $2,400 worth of checks from my parents in 5 days. I mean, they were ready to arrest me. And 32 years old, getting threatened to go to jail by your parents. It was a cry for help.
Matt came in here with his mother and his father, and we intervened, and he admitted that he needed a lot more help and that he really couldn't stop his use without going through a withdrawal period. And then that's when he agreed to go to inpatient treatment.
I needed to go away. I needed to do some work in order to get back the life that I want, but the life that they deserve too. They don't deserve to have to change their locks on a house they've had for 30 years. My wife doesn't have to worry about her husband taking money from an account they need to pay the mortgage. I mean, it scared me, but at that point, when Kathy was able to help me get in someplace, that was the best day of my life.
He was there for 28 days, made a lot of changes. He came back from inpatient a new person. He's been very active, very enthusiastic. He came back with a commitment to go to daily AA, NA meetings, which he does. It's wonderful to see the recovery that he's made.
I'm continuing to do outpatient. I've graduated to the advanced recovery group. Having an outlet, whether or not it's here at Unity or in a 12-step program, to be around like-minded individuals or a group of people that are not judgmental and have been where you are, is huge.
He's reconciled with his wife. They're back together. She's come in for a couple of sessions. They're going to be attending the family program together that we have here, and that will work in terms of his relapse prevention. This is something he's going to have to watch out for the rest of his life.
I look and see, what can I do today that's going to help me get through a day not using? Do I need to go to meetings? Do I need to, call people? Do I need to come to Unity? For me, the most important thing is the being honest, because if I don't do that, my disease will creep up on me.
He's an inspiration. If he can do it, anybody can do it, because he's the hardest type of person to get into recovery. It's easier for people that aren't as successful, that don't have as much to lose. He had a lot of pride. You have to surrender to the powerlessness you have over the drug. Now he's able to have pride and humility at the same time, and it works. It's working really well.
And I wouldn't be here if I didn't have the support of my family, my wife, Kathy, Unity, everybody. People showed they cared when I didn't care about myself. It's given me my life back. It's given me my wife. It's given me my house. I want more for myself now than I've ever wanted when I was using or before that. I've gone through the hell, and I think there's a lot of people that have. It's not a fun place to be, and it's going to take some work, but I truly feel that if I can get through to the other side, anybody can.